And we're live for episode 7 of Slaaaaap Haaaapy. Slaaaaap Haaaapy podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Savilian. I am your host. I'm your host with with a fair bit. Probably not the most, but I got a little bit, Probably not the host with the most, but I've got a little bit, So that's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm here with an episode on trading, my trading journey. So for everybody out there that doesn't know, I trade on the ASX for a living. I'm what's called a day trader, an intraday trader, or a scalper. I basically make short-term trades, many of them in a day, and I make a living off of it. And I don't hold anything overnight or long-term. I'm in and I'm out. Average hold time is maybe 90 seconds to 5 minutes kind of thing. Like I don't hold for very long. Now, the reason I'm making this episode is because for those of you who don't know, I have a little bit of a Twitter community, I would say, a little bit of a Twitter following, people that, I converse with on a day-to-day basis about trading. And I thought this would be a nice little episode for them to kind of hear about my trading journey and my come up and, the ebbs and flows of it. And also for everybody who isn't in that community, who's, more so a fan of my music, just to kind of, get to know a bit more about me and what I do and, just kind of another weird element of my life, which is trading. So anyway, I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to cover I'm going to quickly cover a little bit of a timeline, of, where I started and how I got here kind of thing. And then I'm going to dive into a bunch of questions from some of the people on my Twitter, in my Twitter community, which will obviously go into more detail and will be like a little bit more specific and technical about some of those sides of trading. So anyway, this story goes back to, my story goes back to, starts in 2009. So I'm working at the casino in Sydney. Got myself a little job. I'm 20 years old, whatever. Walking around the casino, I'm doing 4 a.m. starts and I'm dealing poker. So I'm walking around the cafeteria and I'm not sleeping a lot. So I'm a little bit of a zombie. I'm walking around. I got my hands out. I'm like, I'm walking around, doing my little zombie thing. And I spot another little dude also doing his zombie thing. He got his hands out. He's doing his zombie thing too. And he seemed all right. So I said, hey, what's up, G? Do you want to get a little zombie action going? And, that's how we hit it off. There wasn't a lot of super friendly or super normal people in the casino staff cafeteria at 4 a.m. He was, he was one of the better picks, let's put it that way. And we became friends. So we started a friendship as human beings. We interacted and went out and got drunk and did all those normal friendship things. And we kind of just stayed in touch. Anyway, fast forward to the beginning of 2018 and he comes back from America and he says to me, I think in May or June of 2018, he says to me, hey, do you want to learn how to do this thing that I'm doing for a living called trading? Anyway, I said, yeah, let's do it. Anyway, his name is still Nicholas Fabrio, otherwise known as Longhorn Capital. To my brother and my family, that guy who always wears boardies and thongs, like literally everywhere he goes. But to everyone on Twitter, he's Longhorn Capital. Really, really talented trader, as you all know. He's one of my best mates. And he said to me, I was playing PLO, Pot Limit Omaha, semi-professionally. I did it kind of like to make money to live off of, and I did it okay. I played 1-3 live PLO at the casino, and I did it reasonably well. And he saw some of the similarities in PLO and PLO and day trading. And he said, I reckon I could teach you how to do this. So offered me a bit of a mentoring, tutelage, offer, I guess. And I didn't have a lot going on in my life at the time, so I took it up. And I got a really good deal. So, before I continue on with this story, I just want to say that I'm very, very, very blessed with the fact that Nick decided to offer me his help in more ways than one. He's helped me in every single aspect of what it takes to start day trading. And I have been very, very blessed. Okay. I'm very, very thankful. And I do not understate that at all. He's shown me everything, and he's guided me through some incredibly difficult spots, and, shown me, kind of guided me through some stuff that, if I was doing it by myself or I was learning by myself, I may not have got through. So I definitely do not overstate that. I'm very, very blessed, and I'm very, very lucky to have him in my life and to have taught me what he has taught me. With that said, when he came to me with, do you want to learn how to day trade? I didn't even know how to spell ASX. I had zero idea or context on, what trading was. I was an artist. I was an artist, and I just didn't know anything about that world. My financial literacy did not exist. I was broke as shit. I was in debt. I was jobless. I was living at home. Like I was, I was not the prime candidate for a financial position. But Nick saw what he saw, and he thought I could be good at it. So he said, let me show you. So he started showing me, and I took him up on it, and he started teaching me little bits here and there. And in 2018, August 24, I put my first live trade on. We funded the account. I put my first live trade on, and it was a short QUB, 5,000 units. Tried to get in the match, but missed. Got lifted. Went 2 ticks against me before going 5 ticks in my favor. I took $250 out of it, and I thought, bloody hell, this is the best. I'm so good at this. I didn't think that, but I thought, fuck, this is pretty cool. I'm sitting in my room, and I just made $250. Like, fuck, what is the potential here? Now, from there, I my first full trading month was September. I made $200.11. So, not exactly the ascension I was looking for, but it was not too bad. So yeah, as I said, I'm living at home at this stage. I don't have many overheads. I have personal debt, but I don't have that many expenses. So making not that much money in the beginning. I'm doing this full time in the beginning. The aim is to do this full time. So I'm doing this all day, every day. And the aim is to go make a living off of this, but not making a living off of it in the beginning was okay because I was living at home. I had lower expenses and stuff like that. So by November that year, so a couple months later, I put together 1.4K in the month. So pretty happy with that. February rolls around. I'm really beginning to find some consistency, and I put up 4K for the month, a bit over 4K. So I'm starting to find my groove. I really start to hit my straps, and I really start to hone in on my edge and carve out my edge in April and May, where I put together 5.5K and then 6.8K in back-to-back months. And more impressive than that, I'm like really, I'm cutting losers quickly. Like I'm trading specifically match scalps. I'm cutting losers quickly, and I'm just, I've got this real narrow focus on, if I'm going to take a loss, it's only going to be 1 tick loss. Ideally, I get out for scratch, but I'll take a 1 tick loss kind of maximum. So I'm really cutting losers, and I'm not hitting big home run wins, but I'm keeping my losers small. In the middle of June, I made the super wise decision to move to Melbourne. Even though I'm still not, really crushing it trading, because I'm not pocketing all of this money. Me and Nick have an arrangement where I'm not pocketing all this money. So I'm pocketing a fair bit, but I'm not pocketing all of it. And I probably wasn't making enough to justify moving out of moving down to Melbourne, because that move soaked up a fair bit of cash, to be honest. so in the middle of June, we moved to Melbourne, and that would be the end of my first financial year of trading where I net 21K. The next 3 months, June, July, August, I put together only 8 grand. Now, as I said, living out of home, all these extra overheads, still a lot of personal debt. 8 grand's not enough. So after a lackluster August, which was earnings season, and a pretty shitty start to September, I decided I need to get a job. So I went and got a part-time job, just doing bar work. I decided that, trading is what I want full-time or in the future, but I'm not getting it. Like I'm kind of like, the financial constraints were putting stress on me, and I was making trades based on money, not on whether it was a good trade or not. And that is not a good position to learn or to excel in. So I would say for anybody out there who's in a similar situation where you're trying to make this happen, whether it's trading or another side hustle, do whatever you have to do to keep it afloat. One thing I say, or one thing I've learned over the last, couple years is you just got to stay in the game, because eventually if you're consistent enough and you want it enough, it'll turn around. So I went and got me a little part-time casual kind of bar job at night so I could keep trading during the day. And yeah, that kind of sucked at the time. Like I'm not gonna lie, the 4.5 months that preceded that, from mid-September to the end of January kind of thing, were some of the hardest months of my life. Mentally, physically, emotionally, I was totally strung out. I was working all night at the bar. I was working all day trying to make trading work. In the middle of that, I tried to maintain my friendships with my brother and my mate Curtis. I tried to maintain my relationship with my girlfriend. I tried to work on music. I tried to work on my health, and it just wasn't happening. Everything was kind of failing. Everything was failing. And, like my health was really suffering. My mental health was really suffering. I had a couple of days, I think in December, where I had to take myself to hospital because I was shaking, had heart palpitations. I was drinking so much Red Bull and having modafinil to get me through the night, that I was, just like my whole body was just struggling, I was short on sleep. I was eating poorly. I was, just everything was fucking, really stretching me. So yeah, when it got to like kind of, mid-January, I basically turned around to Fabio and I said, man, I quit. I can't do this. My health is suffering. My relationships are suffering. I'm not getting this balance right. I'm just not doing it. I can't do it. I'm not doing it. And he said, yeah, fair enough. Like, do what you got to do. I want you to be happy. I want you to be successful. And if you got to quit, then quit if that's what you need right now. He said, I'm disappointed. It's a little disappointing because I know you're so close to getting it. But if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. Anyway, I took a few days off, kind of worked on my health. I worked on music. And then one day I just opened the screen to kind of like watch the open. And I see a setup that I like, and I put a little trade on, made quick $300. And I said, I can do this. I need to, wasn't getting the balance right. I wasn't getting the balance right in my life, and everything was suffering. So I needed to figure out a better way to do it. So I went to my boss at the end of January, right before earnings in February this year, 2020. And I said, I need to work on my side hustle every single day throughout this month. So could I please work at the bar only on the weekends just to pay bills and stuff? And she was, gracious enough to say, yeah, go for it. And that was cool because it allowed me to focus on trading again, and it allowed me to keep the bills flowing in, keep the bills getting paid. Sorry. So I did that, and I would do like 7 a.m. to maybe 4:35 normal trading hours kind of thing, and then I would work at the bar on the weekend. And it was a perfect combination because I was able to pull 7.5 grand out of that February. And all of a sudden, I got a second wind, and I was like, okay, fuck. All right, let's go again. Then the lockdown came, COVID came. I lost my job at the bar. I think in the beginning or middle of February. And, that part of it was like kind of not amazing, but at the same time, I kind of thought, all right, well, this is kind of like an opportunity to just really focus in on the trading again and just nail this, like get it right this time. Make sure this is the my last attempt, and I nail it this time. So throughout March, April, May this year, I managed to put 25K together. I think it went like 4.5, 15, 4.5, 5.5 or something like that. And I really started to find my groove again, and I really started to feel good again. In June, I had a breakout month. I put together 42K for June. That was really off the back of the buy now, pay later shit going crazy, web going crazy, just the whole world's going crazy. So obviously the ASX is going crazy as well. So I had a breakout month in June, and the standout day being, I think, the Friday the 19th, I did like 12.5K in SPT when that thing just went bonkers. I traded it every which way. And I ended up writing in my journal that day, today I became a tape junkie, because I just traded that thing like a fucking demon, like up, down, left, right, back and forward. And I just kind of I was just scalping it. Like, there was multiple trades in that day, but I just was like, every time it looked like it was going to crack or rip, like I was just there, and it felt really good. And, I kind of, it's kind of like that was a bit of a, coming of age kind of moment. Anyway, that would be the end of my second financial year trading. And I would net 91K in my second financial year. So a little bit of a jump, 21K in the first year, 91K in the second year. Not too bad. I followed that up July, August, September with 27, 20, and 15K. Really starting to feel like I've properly turned this corner. I'm never going back. Only way up from here, guys. And sure enough, in October, I had my first full month of trading loss. I lost $600 in October, which is not a lot. But, I'm an emotional dude. There, I said it. And, that just whacked me a little bit, because I'd kind of grind it up. I rose from the death, rose from the ashes. I kind of started grinding away, started building it again. And then it was like, "Bruh." And I was like, fuck. Like it hit me a little bit in October. And, throughout it was like those last kind of week and a half of September, all throughout October, and then the beginning of November, I was trading really, really, really badly. I was just like, it was like I thought I earned my spot at the top, or I thought I earned my spot as a professional trader, and that it was just going to happen naturally. And I forgot to keep putting the work in. And it's so dumb. Like, when I say it, I know it's so dumb. And I know a lot of people out there will be like, fucking this guy, how are we listening to this guy? Why are we listening to this guy? And it seems stupid as, but I went away from the stuff that was working. And this is what happens. You go away from the stuff that works, you lose. You get complacent, you lose. You let ego take the wheel, you lose. Like, that's just how this shit works. Okay. So when I went back to what I was good at, kind of mid-November, I just grinded it out, and I got my mojo back. And, as it stands right now at this moment, I'm on a little bit of a streak, and I'm sticking really rigidly to a few rules. And, I've got a little mantra that I say to myself in the morning before I start trading, and I'm really focusing in on my why. My why. Why do I do this? Why do I trade? Why do I want to be successful as a trader? What is my why? I think it's very easy for us to get caught up in everybody else's whys. As good as Nick is, and as successful as he is, and as much value for the trading community as he provides, you look at someone like that posting $15,000, $20,000 wins in a day, and that can, if you focus too much on that and you think about his why, it's really easy to go, oh, fuck, I'm failing, with anybody else for that matter. If you look at anybody else and you go, oh, look at their thing, that's their why. That they're chasing it because of their why, right? When I look at my why, which is, to use trading as a vehicle to propel my creative endeavors, all I need to do is make enough money to pay the bills and to fund my creative endeavors, which isn't heaps. That's my why. And when I really break that down, I don't need $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a day. I just need to trade well, okay, stick to my rules, do my job, and make enough money to fulfill my why, okay? So yeah, I would probably, for everybody out there, just kind of, what's your why? What's your why? I think that's important. So anyway, I'm done with the little trading journey section of this. I am going to get onto these questions. So we're 20 minutes in. I'm going to try to bang these questions out in 10 minutes because I don't want this to be more than 30 minutes. And yeah, we're just going to go for it. So by the way, if anyone has any questions on the trading journey side of things, okay, just hit me. I'm always open, Twitter, DM, whatever, Instagram, YouTube comments. I'm always open to chat or break things down or open up on stuff. Like, yeah, please just hit me. So Zone at 6, hit me with a lot of really good questions. I'm going to try to punch through these as quick as I can. With music generally being a personal, emotional endeavor, successful trading requiring a headspace not controlled by ego or emotion, was there an adjustment period for you? Yes, and there still is. Every single day, I feel like I need to be adjusting because this brain of mine, it's been, like most people, it's my greatest enemy. I am my own greatest enemy. Being an artist, very hypercritical of myself, very hypercritical of everything that I do. And, that definitely does flow over into my trading. I don't have a super analytical, logical, methodical brain. I have a very, I don't know how to say it. And I'm an artist. All I know is my brain just doesn't work like a person who you would typically consider, to be a good trader. At least I don't think it does. Maybe I don't know enough traders. I don't know. But yeah, I would say that I'm very, very hypercritical. And that does flow over into my trading. So I do have to be continually adjusting and I do have to really be monitoring myself. I always need to be monitoring myself, whether that's journaling, whether that's my diary. I keep a diary, I keep a journal, trading journal, I keep a gratitude journal. I've got all these little tools that I kind of need to plug in every single day to keep myself in check. And I think that is because of this dumb brain that I got, which I love, but obviously kind of makes some things a little bit more difficult than others. So was there a community chat group that was pivotal in your development? Yes. I'm not going to name the names because I haven't asked those guys for permission, but the group that I'm in with Fabio and some others, those guys have all been super, super pivotal in my development this year. They've been very encouraging. They've been very supportive. The banter's amazing. We all kind of got each other's backs on down days. We've all bigged each other up. Hey, don't worry, bro. It's all good. You got this. You got this. It's just been a really, really positive community, and they've pushed me to be better. I admire these guys that I trade with, that I'm friends with in this chat. A lot of them I haven't physically met, but it doesn't matter. It hasn't changed the dynamic. It's still a very, it's a really positive, uplifting and motivating environment that we've created in that chat. So yeah, if you can find one out there, guys, find one. Even if it's just get together with like-minded dudes. I don't need to know heaps about trading, but like-minded dudes who are going to push you to sharpen this. Absolutely. Is there a trader that you idolize and want to be like more? Obvious. My boy Bag Dip. Trying to make bags like Bag Dip. Hey, doing big numbers, mathletes. Hey, yeah, Bag Dip, pretty much. Not Longhorn or Austin Mitchum or Bryce Edwards, anyone like that. Probably Bagdip. What are your trading weaknesses and strengths? So weaknesses, my bloody dumb brain. I would say that I do get really gambly if I've lost in a stock early. I find it really hard to cut my losers if I've lost early. If I nail, so I would say the opposite is my discipline. Like if I nail one trade, I'll get off the computer. Like I'm seriously happy to just take one and fucking be done. But if I don't, I can possibly fall into some negative territory where I start over trading. My match trading, my match scalping is definitely a strength. I now feel that I have a really strong edge there, and I feel really confident trading matches. I have a weakness in high denomination stocks. I don't like to trade high denomination stocks. I just never really got used to them. Don't really like them. But I feel really comfortable in like the kind of like $1 to $5, maybe up to $10 range. Like those ones that are kind of thick and they don't move as quick. They're not as whippy. You can kind of read the order book a little bit better. That's another strength. I would say my reading of the order book and understanding the order book setup, and just kind of like, just reading, how it's going to behave. I think, the tape reading in there, I think is a real strength of mine as well. Yeah. And a weakness, I don't have like a real fundamental, like technical understanding of markets or anything finance related. Like I still, at the end of the day, have a really, really basic core set of skills, which is to trade the match and trade tape. Reading, understanding articles, understanding is this positive or negative. Like, I just don't have those understandings that some other finance guys might have. So yeah, but I guess that's on me for not looking further into it. Anyway, is there any books, courses you read in the early days? So yeah, anything by Mike Bellafiore, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, How to Make a Living Day Trading by Andrew Aziz. All the chat with traders stuff, especially the ones with like Bryce and Nick and I think Austin might have been on one. But Mike Bellafiore's stuff is honestly fucking, I can't rate it highly enough. Like the way that he breaks down trades, obviously it's not as relevant to our market, but the way to think, just to think like a professional trader. All that content is like absolutely off the chain. And their YouTube channel is going off at the moment. So SMB Capital YouTube channel. If you want to jump on there, you can literally watch hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of guys breaking down trades and just speaking the lingo and just talking about the mindset. And also Mike Bellafiore on Twitter. If you follow him, he has great insights almost every single day. Yeah. What skill took you to the next level and how did you practice it? This is from Zone at 6 still. So this will be the last question from him. What skill took you to the next level and how do you practice it? That skill is tape reading. Now, you practice it by trading fast tape. Like you practice it by being in stocks that are fucking moving. Strong catalysts, plenty of volatility and volume. Boom, you're going to get good. Okay, you do that enough, you're going to get good. So, you practice it by being in it. You need to be in stocks in play. You need to be in stuff with a strong catalyst. You can't be in something that kind of moves like half a tick every 12 minutes and learn how that book behaves. You're not going to learn it. You need to be in the stuff that is moving quickly. It's a bit of a fire of baptism of fire kind of scenario. Like you might get burned a little, but in the burning, you are going to learn how to not get burnt kind of thing. I would say that learning tape or learning how to read tape and trade fast tape is the best skill to level up your trading and have outsized wins. So match scalping for the first 18 months, I would make like, I would have like I'd win $500 here, then I'd lose $100 there. I'd win $600, then I'd lose $200, right? And it was that kind of like, there was a consistency, to it. But I'm not going to have like a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 win just by match scalping. Okay, those huge wins, those outsized wins, I think, in my opinion, come from trading tape. They come from mean reversion stuff, either fading or buying a dip, but stuff where you kind of like, you're actually reading what's going on and you think, okay, something's going to happen here. I think that is the skill that is going to get you from, just an average trader to like outsized wins and really, going to that next level the quickest. So I'm going to move on to the next person. So I'm at 30 minutes now. I'm just going to fucking push along, finish these questions, and then be done with this. So Wolf_021 said, what's made you focus on the mornings and do you plan to extend? What's focus is the match. I just love the match. That's my main edge. I love trading the match. I just find that, with the ability to hit out for scratch, with either surplus bid or surplus offer, with that ability, I think comes such a huge edge. Like you can, Nick refers to it in the Chat with Traders episode as having a free look. And I 100% think that. It's like being on the dealer button in poker. Everyone acts before you. It's the same thing. If you get the match, if you buy the match or sell the match or short the match, whatever, if you're buying the match, for example, and it's surplus bid, right? So the opening price, there is a surplus bid. You have an opportunity to get out at that price for scratch, minus obviously comms, but you don't have to take a one-tick loss. If you are trading something during the trading session and you have to, cross a spread or, you have to hit lower or lift something higher, right? You have to, and it goes against you, you instantly will lose at least one tick, okay? You don't have that with the match. You can get out for scratch. Now, I think that's a huge edge. It means you have that free look. If it doesn't go straight away, boom, I'm out. If it goes, then we ride it, and you've got that stop loss. You can push that up, the trailing stop loss. So yeah, I might go back to longer hours at some point, but at the moment I'm really happy just trading the match while I'm like just rebuilding my confidence. Any particular aha moments which you look back on? So I would say there are two. I would say that there was a chat I had with Austin Mitchum around April and May in 2019 when I was starting to carve out my edge. I was starting to build that consistency. Now, Austin basically said to me, I sent him a few of my report cards. I was having a chat with him. I sent him a few of my report cards. And he noticed that there was a lot of really negative self-talk in the report cards. Going back to that thing I said, I'm very hypercritical of myself. And I would say, like, I would just berate myself. I'd just be really negative, talk down on myself. And Austin said, like, what's going on here? How long you been trading? I'd be like, 6 months. And he's like, well, why are you talking to yourself like that? Like, you don't have to. He said it a lot more eloquently, or elegantly, but, he said, you don't have to talk to yourself like that. Let's reinforce. Let's be a bit more positive. Let's get rid of that language. You're only learning. So be easy on yourself. Come with a learning lens, not like a critical lens, but a learning lens. And have a go and build yourself up. If you do something well, build yourself up. Try to get rid of the negative. So we had a conversation around that, and I took that away. And I really have instilled it into my life this year, particular 2020, in two forms. One, in my trading journal, by journaling every day and saying, if I traded something well, Matt, well done. I really like the way that you held that. I really like the way that you bought that level. I really like the way that you stepped in front of that guy. I really like the way that you bid lower or whatever. I would talk to myself. Matt, really happy for you. Matt, really proud of your progression. Matt, and really trying to big myself up, really trying to make myself feel in control. Obviously be critical of the things that I needed to be, but instead of just being like, dude, you fucked up. That's so shit. Instead of being like that, I just was like, no, you did good. You tried hard. You're doing better, trying to build myself up, right? So I did that in my training journal. Also have done that in a personal diary journal thing that I've kept all of this year, where I just try to write the exact feelings down as to not miss anything. Because I think it's really important as traders that we don't lie to ourselves. You can get lucky in a trade and the number reads, positive, but deep down, all right, I got lucky there. If you write down, no, I actually got lucky, you can't look at it in a month and go, oh, well, that was a win. Because oh, no, I did. I got lucky. And it forces us to really be critical if we're writing down the truth and, we're not being too negative, I guess. Critical, I mean, as in critically analyzing, not beating ourselves up. Yeah. So here we go. Next question. So Ben Won't Play said, on a drawdown day or week or month, how do you stay composed emotionally? I try to turn to things outside of trading. So one thing I'll do is I'll analyze the day. I'll go through the data. I'll look at the trades and I'll see all right, what did you do wrong? Was this avoidable? Was this an oversight? I'll analyze it. And then I'll turn my computer off and I'll do my absolute best to not think about it. I'll leave it there. I'll get on with my day. I'll go for a jog. I'll go, go to a boxing class or I'll go work on music, or I'll go hang out with my brother, or hang out with my girlfriend. I'll go do the things that fill me up and make me feel good inside and fill my soul up, fill my cup up. I won't dwell on it because, I think you can definitely get too bogged down in the data. I'll analyze it to a point. I'll figure out, could I have done better? And then I'll just fucking shut it down. Leave it there. That's done now. You can't take it back. I'll just do better tomorrow. So that way I can wipe the slate clean, new day, trade with a fresh set of eyes, so to speak, And that's the only way to do it, really. Do something that makes you feel good, that fills your soul up, and then leave it behind, get on with it. Yeah. I had to, halfway through November, I had to reinvent my my morning ritual to kind of reinvigorate the way that I was approaching my trading. I would just recommend doing anything you can to shake things up, especially if you're in a long drawdown period, but definitely be going back to things that kind of keep you sane and keep you healthy of mind and heart kind of thing. Yeah. Durian Gray said, Durian_Gray said, what are your financial goals for trading? Where do you want to be in 1 year in regard to trading and music? Okay. So my financial goals for trading, I don't really have any. I kind of wanted to gross 200K this year. But that was only halfway through the year after I was getting on a bit of a roll, which I think I've already done or I'm going to do. So that's I'm pretty happy with that. Financial goals for trading, I don't really have any because for me, as I said before, this is just a vehicle to, allow me to focus on, my other endeavors, my creative endeavors and stuff like that. So I don't really have any, I got debt free at the end of this year for the first time in 12 years. That was probably it. Pay off my debt. Now that I'm debt free, I can start to build wealth, hopefully. And there aren't really any goals associated with that. I'm just kind of taking life as it comes right now. I'm just trying to do my best every single day. In terms of music, probably same thing. I still feel like I'm in a bit of a holding pattern with both of these things, with trading and music. My goals are to be a professional in both. And the only way I'm going to do that is by every single day being as good as I can and just focusing on deep work with trading and with music. So that's really all I'm doing right now is every single day I get up. Did I trade well? Did I work on music? That's it. Get up. Did I trade well? Did I work on music? Yeah, I know that's a real basic way to answer the question, but I don't want anything. I just want to feel like a professional. I want to feel like I'm doing my job. If I feel like I'm doing my job, then I've reached, that's success to me. There's no metric. There's no, this or that. It's just like, do I feel like a professional? Do I feel like I'm doing my job? Okay, well, then I'm there, So Dylan Thialgo or the Algo, I'm not sure. He said, how do you find a mentor and the pros and cons of having one? So, man, a lot of people ask me this, and I've got this like really messed up story where I'm super, super, super lucky and thankful that my best friend happens to be like a really good trader who was, gracious enough to want to train me and mentor me and coach me through. I'm super lucky. Not a lot of people get that. So, I'm not in a position to talk about that. I've never had to look for a mentor. It kind of got thrown at me. All I would say is like, just be really cautious of people out there who want to be your mentor. I would say that mentorship kind of starts with a friendship first, an exchange of ideas. And to be honest, what I've seen, mentors will find you. I think that like if you're putting your best foot forward, and you're being, you're doing your best, I think a mentor will find you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in time. The quote, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I think that is super true. I think, if Nick tried to teach me, a year before or 2 years before, which he actually had mentioned, hey, I'll teach you how to do this. I'll teach you how to do this. And I said, nah, dude, I'm not ready. And even when he tried to teach me in 2018, I still was only just ready. But it was purely to do with coincidence and my life. And, I was just ready at that time. I was open enough. I was ready enough at that time. Generally speaking, it just has to go like that. It has to be a natural kind of thing, in my opinion. So Oki Cox, I think this is Steve. He said your morning routine / stock selection process would be interesting. Looking forward to it. So, dude, I kind of get to the computer. I try to get to the computer at 9 a.m. I will open the computer. I have a spreadsheet that I have news, stuff that's been in news, stuff that I'm watching, stuff that was in news yesterday, stuff that was in news 2 days ago, stuff that's upgraded or downgraded, right? And I do that for every single group. So group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I update that list. That's the first thing I do. I go through every single stock on those in each of those groups, and I look at them and I go, all right, is this still in play today, or should I be watching this at all? Right? And then I look at the book. I look at I look at what it finished on yesterday. I kind of I get a sense of like what's happening in the market. Basically, I go through this list. I cull what I don't want. I keep what I do want. Okay. And then I move it all around so it all kind of like makes sense. And then I go through the Spark ASX news feed. And then I take all the stuff that is in play, like everything that has news, and I punch it in. This is news in each group, right? I'll check my email to see if there's any relevant stuff that I want to read. I check AFR. I have a bit of a read there. I have a chat to the guys in the chat. I just get a sense of what the market is going to do and what stuff is going to be in play for me. Then about 9:30, I'll line up in each group 4 stocks from each group. So at the bottom in my Spark, I have 20 slots. So 4 from each group of 5, right? And then I'll have so my Spark is set up so that what do you call it? The chart is at the top and the depth is at the bottom for one stock, and then there'll be chart and depth for another stock, and I have that 2 times 10 along the bottom. I will line that up so that in each group I have 4 stocks that I'm watching every single morning. So in group 1, I'll have, let's just say APT, ADT, BWX, AX1, right? Group 2, EOS, EOF, EML, FXL, which is now HUM, and so on and so forth. So I'll have 4 that I'm like primarily looking at each morning. But in my mind, I'll know that there is at least, there's probably a maximum of like 3 or 4 that I'm legitimately going to trade each day. On a good day where like there's like 5 legitimate options in the morning, I might go bang, 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 like 1 in each group. Match scalp, match scalp, match scalp, match scalp, match scalp. Now that obviously that doesn't happen every day, but sometimes it does. And so that's kind of what my process looks like. I get my tickets up with 10 minutes to go, and then I'm like really honing in mentally. Like I'm looking at the order books and I'm going, okay, what am I going to trade today? What am I definitely going to trade? And then I kind of narrow my focus. Like I just kind of narrow it into like maybe 3 or 4 stocks, and I kind of pre-fill my tickets, and then I just go for it. And I'm just watching stuff as it opens, watching for any news to come through, watching stuff as it opens, and just go ba 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 ba. Trade the match like a demon and get the fuck out of there. So yeah. And then I got one more question here, which I'm going to finish on. Charles Dwyer 94 says, how has trading changed your life / change you as a person? Can answer both or either. So trading has absolutely changed my life, turned it on its head. Thank you to Nicholas, you beautiful man. Honestly, like it's taken me from a person who, like I was kind of going nowhere, let's be honest. I was kind of I was flatlining. I was what do you call it? When something's like building, about to take off. I was consolidating. Let's put it that way. I was consolidating for a long time. But yeah, it's changed my life in a humongous way. Like I feel like I have purpose. Not purpose, but it just kind of like it's the glue. It's the glue that my life needed, really. I work from home. I work for myself. I pick my hours. I work the other things that I'm passionate about around those hours. It's just really, it's given me autonomy. It's just given me autonomy, which is, I think it's most beautiful gift is autonomy. And I love that. I love that. Being a musician, being someone who likes to kind of like work on other pursuits, it gives me that power to do those things and not have to answer to anyone. So it's really changed my life from that point of view. And as a person, hasn't really changed me as a person. I'm still fucking weird as shit. I'm still a little bit loose. It's probably tightened me up around money. I now that I'm like out of debt and I've kind of got money in the bank a little bit, I kind of don't want to ever go back there. So, I'm a little bit more frugal. I'm not as like loose with my spending and stuff like that. So it's kind of taught me a little bit of discipline, I would say, and just kind of like plugged me into how the world works, really. From like a, finance being this tool that, kind of is the lifeblood of humanity. So getting a better glimpse of how that works is interesting from time to time. So hopefully that answers the question. Anyway, guys, I have talked for nigh on 50 minutes, which is a long time for me. I just wanted to make this one a little bit longer, kind of cover as much stuff as I could and really, dig into as much stuff as I could. If I didn't cover enough stuff in enough detail, let me know, okay? I'll make another one of these. I'll make another one. I'll cover more stuff in more detail with better answers, okay? If I have done well in this episode, let me know, okay? Please let me know because I want to know. I want to know, did I do good enough, all right? So, I can do this again or I can not do this again. So, yeah, let me know. Did I answer your questions? Did I reveal something? Did I unveil something that is valuable for you? Let me know down below, please. I would love to. Apart from that, that's been episode 7 of Slaaaaap Haaaapy. And, I guess I'll see you guys next week. But in the meantime, stay happy, stay trading, and good luck.